Hello students, welcome to the class by Nicholas Robinson. I am a professor in computer science. Summary of my profile, what you have seen right now on the screen. Today, the main focus of the class is about DBMS. DBMS means Database Management System. Students, we live in this world. Data is most important asset and it acts as the major decision making process. That's why very important for us to learn DBMS to mine data easily and efficiently. You can learn all the major concepts of SQL. SQL means Structured Query Language. Before we go ahead to start the session, let's have a quick glance of an agenda. First one, what exactly is a database? Second one, how to create and use databases. After that, we have to learn how to create a table, then how to extract the data with various classes. Going ahead, let's see the introduction part of database management system. Look at what's meant for a database. Database is the organized collection of data in an electronic format. So, what's meant for organized collection of data? That means it is a collection of interrelated data. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. You can see the data in the file format, and this data usually stored in a tabular format into the database. This one is called as the database symbol. This one is the file symbol. That means tables. These tables we are stored in the database. We know tables have the rows and columns. We can do some of operations in the database. What operations we can do? We can access the data, we can manipulate the data, and we can update the data with the help of some software that is called as database management system. Have a look at the table. Table is the database object which comprises the rows and columns. So horizontally it's mentioned the data of particular object, that is called as the rows or records. The vertically the columns representing the particular data, that is called as field. So this is the tabular format. Now just look at the records. Records has been specified in the horizontal format and the field has been represented as the vertical format. That means the column employee department is the field. So this one particular employee ID, employee name, employee salary, employee age, employee gender and employee department, that everything is stored in the horizontal, that is called as a record. So field we know is the vertical format. That's a column format, that is called as a field. So we know the table is the combination of fields and records. This is highlighted area, just look at, that is called as a record. What is meant for DBMS? Database Management System is a software for creating and managing databases. So different kind of databases is there. Different softwares we are using. Major popular softwares: SQL, MySQL, Sybase, MS Access, etc. So just we have the plan to look at the structured query language. Look at the types of architecture. Usually in the database have two types of architecture. One is the file server architecture, Second one is the client server architecture. The file server architecture, you just look at the Excel file. Excel file we have in our local system. You just imagine you are sending this file, Excel file, to your friend. The copy also sent to your friends. Then you are changing, otherwise some kind of modification you are doing in your local system, that same Excel file. It will reflect the changes only within your system. It will not reflect the copied file or your friend file. So this is the major demerits of the file system. So file system, our local system is acting as a local server. Only one person, this person can only access the data. She can access the data. At the same time, he tried to access the same data, it won't allow. So these are the major things. Our system only act as the local server. This is the file server demerits. Next one, we should look at the client server architecture. Client server architecture, just look at this, is an amazing one. Usually we are day-to-day life we are using this client server architecture only. Just imagine the railway station, otherwise airway reservation, students record maintenance, hospital management system. Everywhere we are using database and especially following client server architecture. That means n number of users can send the request and get back the result at a time. So just look at OLEDP components, otherwise you just imagine this is the end user. 3 end users are there and here is the network server is there. These 3 end users sending the request to the network server receive the request and send back to the database server. Database server is evaluating the query priority and it gives back or send back the exact result to the network server. And network server again send back to the end users. This is the client server architecture. Next, we have a look at introduction part of SQL. So SQL stands for Structured Query Language, which is a standard language for accessing and manipulating databases. Accessing means we can access anytime, whenever we require the data. Whenever we need, we can take back the data. Manipulating from the database, we can delete, drop, truncate, alter, modify, any kind of operations we can do with the help of SQL query into the database. So SQL is most commercial database. According to the nature of SQL query, it has been divided in 4 categories. One is data query language, second one is data definition language or DDL language, data manipulation language and data control language, DCL language. So data query language, usually we call it select statement. This select statement is used to retrieve the data from the database with the help of some classes. Different kinds of classes is there. Where class is there, group by class is there, having class is there, order by class is there, as class is there. With the help of these classes, we can retrieve any data from the database. And data definition language usually used to define and build the structure of the data. So create table, alter table, drop table, this everything comes under data definition language. Data manipulation language, the name itself it have manipulating the data, insertion, updation, delete, this kind of operations we can do with the help of the data manipulation language. And data control language, it gives the permissions, okay, grant the permission and revoke the granted permissions. So this method SQL has been classified. Next, we have the plan 2. how to create the database, how to use the database, and how to drop the database. First of all, we can look at how to create the database. So this is very simple query. The query is create is the keyword and database is create is the keyword, database also the keyword, and database name is the user defined. You can give any kind of a name in this location. So this is the method of creating the database. On database management system have n number of databases. So you can create according to your wish. And once you created, then how can you use the particular database? With the help of use keyword and use and the database name. Already you created X database means use X. Then you are ready to access those database. Go for drop a database index. So how can we drop? Once we done our operation with the database, then we think it's not required, then you can use the drop database to delete the entire database. So with the help of drop keyword, database and database name X that already created, it has been removed from our database management system. Data types in SQL. Usually data types is very important. Why we need the data types means data types defines what type of data a column can hold, a field what kind of data it can hold. That means numerical data or character data, otherwise the date format. You should give that specified format. Usually we are categorizing in three. One is the character data types. This character data type and their range also I have mentioned in this location. Just look at char, worker and text. So char, the range is 255 characters. Worker, char and worker have the major difference. The worker means variable length database. Memory allocated for 30 and used only for 3, then the remaining memory do not waste. It saves the memory. But character data type, if you are allocating the space completely and using the only minimum space and remaining space is completely waste. That is the major thing. Next we are going to look at the numerical data type. Numerical data type: big integer, small integer, tiny integer and decimal. So these are the method. Decimal only have the two parts. One is S and another one is D. S means size of the value, D means number of digits after the decimal point. How many digits you need after the decimal point. So the range also mentions a huge range is there. Usually we are using this integer and decimals. Almost data we are covering these things. And last one is date and time data types. Date and time data types. Date, you must give year format 4 digits, month 2 digits and date 2 digits. This is the format. And next time, hours, minutes and second format. Year 4 wise, then means 4 digits. Suppose you should give. This is the data types in our SQL we are using. Next we have the plan to move on the constraints. Constraint in SQL. Constraint means certain rules or certain conditions. Constraints are used to specify rules for an data in the table. So constraints are used to specify rules for the data in the table. Majorly we are using 4 constraints: not null constraint, default constraint, unique constraint and primary key constraint. Before creating the table, you must know about the constraints. Constraints, first one is default constraints. Default constraint sets a default value for a column when no value is specified. Just look at the below table, employee age. It is everything is displaying 25, 25, 25. So this is default constructor. Sorry, not the constructor, constraint. So default constraint is the default value for a column. when no value specified. If we forgot to enter the data, the remaining data completely what we have given the previous, the entire data automatically will be reflect. Next one, not null constraint. Not null constraint ensures the column cannot have a null value, must have some values. That is called as not null constraint. Empty values it won't accept. All columns must have, where you have mentioned the not null, their particular column must need the values. Empty value or null value if you give, it won't accept. It reflects the error or bugs. Unique constraint. Unique constraint ensures all that value in the column are different. Unique means different. Usually the primary key area we are using this unique values, because duplicate values won't allow. This is called as the unique constraint. Primary key constraint. Primary key constraint uniquely identifies each records in the table. So for example, you can you can call this primary key constraint is the combination of not null constraint and unique constraint. So employee ID, look at the field 1 2 3 4 5 2 6. So no data has been repeated. So remember two things, it is an unique value and not null value. These are the major constraint we are using. Look at the syntax, how to create the table. Table creation purpose, we need to create is the keyword table, table name, and open and close the bracket. Within that column 1 data type. Already we have learned the data type. Just to give what data type you require on that location, you just give that. Column 2 data type, column 3 data type, exit. Column n data type. Then if you require the primary key, use the keyword for the primary key and column x, which column you are planning to make the primary key. Just mention the column name here, because you should ensure there is not null and unique. Table, we know how to create the table. Table creating purpose, we need a name of the table, define the columns and assign the types of columns. These are the major parts. Look at insert query. How can we insert the query into the database? Because once table created, now we are planning to insert the data. How can we insert the data? We can see elaborately in SQL in upcoming parts. So insert is the keyword into the table name, values, open the bracket and give with the comma operator to values. So you can insert the data into the table. Next is select statement. Select statement already we know it is used to retrieve the data with the help of some classes. So select statement syntax you can check. Select column 1, column 2, column n. Okay, up to from which table. Where condition you need, where some particular column name matching location you should give. So don't worry, I'll explain in the query part. Distinct keyword we are using. So distinct is used to select only distinct values. So different values, maybe a male and a female is there, but n number of maybe 10 male, 10 female and some other any relevant data is there. We are using the distinct keyword. It will select the specified, not taken back or not retrieve the different values. Distinct value only it will be displayed. Where class, just look at the where class. Where class is used to extract the records which satisfy a condition. Look at age, occupation. So based on the age and occupation we can query back. So age is greater than 60, otherwise occupation is doctor. So all the syntax I have mentioned here. The where class, this is the group by class, group by class syntax, having clause, having class syntax. So our ultimate aim to listen the syntax. If you know the syntax, you can write the query very easily. Just we can go for the SQL query and we can try to execute some of the queries. How to create the database, how to create the table, how to insert the value, how to delete the value, how to drop the value, how to truncate the value. Everything we can see the practically. Hi students, look at SQL query. SQL Server Management Studio I am using here. Just use that select star from system database. This query displays how many databases are present in our system. Just look at the names, the model, MSDB, test, adventure, works 2016, adventure work, DW 2016. So this much of databases present in my system. So if you want to drop the database, otherwise create the database, we can create. Look at how to create the database. Use the keyword create database. Database name is userwish. I am giving Newton. Okay, this is my database name. Give the semicolon. Just executing the query. It's executed. Hi students, just look at the database. Newton has been created successfully. That's the output window is displaying completed successfully. Now look at in this location, test is the database, but instead of test we are planning to use the Newton. So what the table we are creating, entire table must be inside of Newton. So just use the keyword use the database name. Use the database name. I'm just executing this query. Wait a minute. We can see the output. Use Newton. Output window will appear. Yes, exactly. The command completed successfully. Now the database name in the above window also displaying Newton. Next, our plan to how to create the table. So table creation purpose, use the keyword create table. A table name I have the plan to create as an employee. Open and close the bracket. Employee name or employee ID as an integer. I have the plan to make it a primary key, so I am giving not null constraint. Employee name as a worker. Give the size of worker 24. Any size you can give. Comma operator require. Employee salary. Employee salary as an integer. Give the comma. Employee age also an integer. Employee gender you can give. Worker, am I right? Because character male or female only we are going to enter there. So worker, we are using the worker instead of the care because memory utilization is good in this worker variable length. Employee department also you can give us the worker size give 15. So almost the field has been created. Now assign the primary key. Primary key, give us an employee ID as a primary key because it is a not null constraint. So just look at execute. The query will be execute. Meantime, yeah, good. The command executed successfully. Table has been created. Now you can look at the table is there exist or not. Select, use the select query star from employee is the table name. So this is the select query. Just click. Yeah, you can see the result window, employee ID, employee name, employee gender, everything is there. So next what we can do, table has been created. Our aim to insert the value. How we can able to insert, insert, insert the table into keyword is required. Insert into the table name is employee values. Values must be entered 1 and worker enter as an single quote, within single quote, because worker must be work within single quote. Gives the name Sam, employee name has been given. The next one is employee ID and employee name has given. Employee salary, suppose we should enter employee salary is 95,000 and age is 45. Gender male. Department is operations. So one value I have the plan to insert. Just execute this one. Query execution. Yeah, one row affected. Look at again. You go and execute the same statement. Select star from employee. One data has been inserted. Like this, you can insert n number of data. I have the plan to insert 3 more data. Same value, just enter. So I have the plan to insert 3 query must be affect. Yeah, I'm executing. Wait a moment. Yeah, query has been affected. Just look at how many data has been entered. I have inserted 4 data. So select star from table, select keyword, must give 4 data. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 data we received. This is the method. And see the output window. This completely 4 data is entered into the output location. Now what plan you have? Already we know how to create the table, how to create the database, how to insert the values, and now select query also we know. Then particular field, how can we select? So it's possible. Select particular column from the table. So give us select query employee ID and employee and name we can take out or segregate from employee ID, comma employee name from the table. From employee. Wait a moment. Exactly. Employee ID and employee name, we got it. So this is particular column. How can we segregate, or how can we taken out from the table? So this is two data have been fetching, the operation has been completed successfully. Then now we can use the where class. Where class. How where class is going to, this is a comment line. So where class, how it will be work? Select star from employee, you can use select star from the employee. Okay, now give the where condition. Now give the where condition. Employee gender. Employee gender may be female. Employee gender. I have the plan to take out the female employees. Okay, you can execute this query. Yeah, good. Look at Alice and Evangeline. Both are gender female. So this is where class working in this method. I want to take out the where class at the male employee and the age is greater than 25, salary is greater than 10,000. Just look at an employee male. I have the plan to record. Yeah, exactly. Sam and Nick, total 4 data has been entered into the table. That 4 data, 2 for female and another 2 for male. Look at here. Now we executed the where condition is male. The 2 data has been given. Select star from employee, next age greater than 25. The same data must be dispatched from the table of employee. Now look at the age 45 and above only, so that all the 4 data has been displayed. Look at the salary 95,000 and something. So here above 1 lakh salary I want to segregate out from the employee table. Yeah, exactly working. Is an employee Evangeline have salary for greater than 1 lakh. So this is the where class working method. Then a group by class next we can go. We can go for group by class. Okay. Group by class you also use for group by class. Definitely work with some aggregate functions, average, minimum, maximum, or count. This method within this definitely support. So group by class will not come alone. So you remember for that, select average of employee salary from employee gender from employee. Look at employee. Now use the group by. Group by class based on employee gender. Okay, look at group by class is working exactly, displaying for the employee average salary, and if you want to give as keyword use and give the column name, here grouping with the gender basis, male and female, distinct keyword like male and female is displaying, average salary also executed here. So same like you can use minimum value also, employee gender basis. I would like to employee minimum aggregate function, average already we know, minimum value female, employee gender basis 45, employee age we are taken out, and order by class also we are using same group by and order by. Ascending and descending order format, suppose we should give, already we know the group by class, average value from employee, group by employee department, order by average basis, age. Okay, now look at and execute. Yeah, working. Descending order. Okay, if you want to look at this is in descending order, highest to lowest. If you want to display the same data in ascending order, you can give us ASC, otherwise don't give anything, it automatically display as an ascending order. Workout definitely 45, 50 and 67. This is one of the method of group by class. And having class also, update query is a very important query, so that we can look at a glance about the update query. Update query. Update query, keyword update employee, set is the keyword, maybe age is different, I would like to change the employee age. There is, we know a minimum age is 45, we inserted our employee table 45, 50 and 67. I would like to change the employee age as a 22. Where employee name, is Sam. So Sam's age is going to 25 instead of 45, I think so. Incorrect syntax error is, because employee age we can change. I have given only for employee AGE. Employee age select, give employee age, not in single quote, not required 2 times. Employee age is equals, give the 22 or 25, anything. I am planning to give 25. Now we can try to execute this one. Definitely it will be workout. Employee, one row affected, give the select star from table, select query use in their table, employee